I have one thing, I don't know how it applies to the situation today. If a person and his wife get very poor, the wife has cancer. They cannot afford the injection they need to buy for that person, for the wife. Husband goes out and steals the injection for the wife to survive. Where would the Sharia stand for that?
This is act of romance. Well, the thing is, we have to look at the whole situation from a different angle. Because who's telling you that this injection is going to cure the lady? Is not the dua more powerful than the injection? Therefore, that's why I said we look at it from another perspective. Maybe the stealing is going to stop a healing that was coming from Allah. So this comes in a way of the belief, because the food, the body needs the food, not the soul. The soul needs iman. The body, the soul food is the iman, right? Someone is sick. I don't know, maybe it's good for me. And it is actually, it's certain in the Sharia that is good, because it's expiation of sins. Someone, he's like, he loves his wife, that's his family. He put his heart in dua. To steal, that's an infraction, that's a violation, because he might causing more aggravation to his dear one by doing a violation. Because the believer, he believes that the dua is more powerful than the injection. That's our belief. And it happened actually with cases that they have cancer. It happened, wallahi, there is stories. True story happened, I'm not talking about before, talking about our time here. People, subhanAllah, from the bottom of their heart, they make dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cured them. Allah cured them. Even though they have money and they want, imagine in society where they don't have advanced technology in medicine and everything, they travel to Europe and everything, and it didn't work. And the dua worked. So that's why I said, let's look at it from a different example. We analyze the situation. This is necessity. It is a necessity when we look at the state of when he looked at his wife. But the question, it is certain that this injection is going to cure her. The doctor himself, he said, he's not going to be certain. So why doing a violation when it's not a necessity? Necessity only comes in certainty. This is haram thing. I'm not going to drink it. But now I'm thirsty to death. And they know that haram thing is going to save this body, this life. That I'm entrusted this life. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows the end of the term of everyone's life. Someone commits suicide, it was his term. But it is a major sin and, punished, wal-'iyadhu billah, a great punishment. Why? Because the life had been entrusted to us, so we have to take care of it. But if we died, we're gonna die with a cause of death. This cause of death must be for the believer, not coming from him, because that's a major sin. You've been giving this trust, but when Allah take it, it's His, it belongs to Him. In this case, subhanallah, it will be a violation. It will be haram. Why? Because the believer has a greater weapon than the injection. Lot greater weapon. There's no certainty. Because the medication only works by the will of Allah, doesn't work on its own, right? So the dua is more powerful than the injection. That's what we believe. I'll tell you the story. And the story, one of the Aimma was saying it. And he's swearing by Allah. He knows someone very rich. They did all the, all the treatment in his country. And then, he's rich. So one of the doctors told him, look, in the clinic, paying money, told him, this is our level. We advise you to go to England, I think. They have more technology. They have, everything becomes like machines. They can help you with that. Try that. He went, and the first exams, they told him, this is very difficult. We don't want to take your money. It's very difficult. I told them, what is the truth? He said, ayyamun ma'dudat, counted days. Subhanallah. And he has his family, he didn't tell them. They enter the store and the kids playing, they enter, And he starts to look at them like, look at his kids, at his wife, like this is the last days. It's very difficult. And he saw on the shelf, a bottle of honey. He said, Allah said in it, shifa. He's certainty, subhanAllah. He opened it, he bought it, and he opened it, and he was drinking, and he's saying the story, and he's crying. We're making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get to the next exam, just to check, the doctor, he said, hold on, you're not the person that I saw, a few days ago. He said, no, I'm the person. I mean, subhanAllah, he didn't have anything. And this is talking a true story. It's the will of Allah. We're not going to say miracle. It's the will of Allah. The certainty of the Iman, wallahi, it will have a light to explode in the whole body and make it straighten everything by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alim al-ghaybi wa shahada. He saved Ibrahim in the mid of the fire. That's why. Then come back. Stealing the injection is haram. Jazakumullah. Any other question? Wallahi, there's a lot of stories this way. There's a lot of stories. There's a lady who Allah cured her with Mai Zamzam. In her last counted days, she said, I want to finish my life in Mecca. And subhanAllah, there's no one who will surrender to death. They keep making dua. She said, I'm only drinking Mai Zamzam. I'm making dua and praying. Coming back, nothing in her body. That's why when Abu Bakr, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she told him, let us call the doctor, the tabib, to check. He told her, no, I already checked the doctor. He told me, inni fa'alun lima urid. Talking about Allah. That's why the scholars, there's a very well-known arguments in the way, are you, everyone's sick, is he obligated to take medication? Actually, is it recommended to take medication, not obligated? Some of the scholars say no. Not like they are against the medicine. It's like a relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if someone, for example, insists, say, I don't want to take medication, it's not going to say he's killing himself, no? Because that medication only works by the will of Allah, not on its own. So if he chooses to not take medication, may Allah help you and heal you. That's it. He's the healer. The healer. No one else. We have, inshallah, the book of At-Tuhfah Al-Iraqiya في أعمال القلوب في علم السلوك. طيب. The author, he's saying something very beautiful here. Any destiny is surrounded by tawakkul and rida, preceded by reliance, trust in Allah, followed by rida, being pleased and contented with the destiny, which really is kind of a complete cycle for the tawakkul, which actually whoever who attend the khutbah, it was the spirit of the khutbah on base how the tawakkul is a whole cycle. Started with the ability istita'a, then tawakkul, then isti'ana during the action, then after the destiny happened comes the rida, because that rida who's gonna help and secure the foundation to be better mutawakkil in the next trial. Because when someone he complains after that, he's gonna fall. Then on the next trial, he finds himself very far from being able even to get to the tawakkul. More your trust, the reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a level of worship. It's not like you have a problem, you have a drawer, said, okay, I need tawakkul here. Pill, tawakkul. Alhamdulillah, I feel mutawakkil now. It doesn't work like that. Is it tawakkul, subhanallah, is a non-stopping action of worship. The fine you go into pondering in your life, the more tawakkul you have. Well, say what I meant by fine. The more you think of yourself, you think that none of the things that you'll be doing you can do without Allah. Right? So when you're going to get your hand to this glass to take it to drink, how many things that they worked get into action to just have a sip from this glass? How many muscles? Then go the flow of the blood and the brain and the taste and subhanallah, the whole action itself. If you're going to study it in anatomy, you study it in medicine, you study it in all the things, you find subhanallah, this is a whole world that acted to have this action. How can you do it without tawakkul? In every, if this action, you divide it in segment of like, none of a second. Right? You're going to find it like, I don't know, data of, you need to be analyzed for days. In every tiny of that part, it happened by La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That's where we need to plant the tawakkul. There. When you stand in the morning, how did you stand? You wake up and you get off your bed. Imagine, think of like, an older person. They hardly wake up, holding on their backs. They have knees problem. They have, and mashallah, all of you, mashallah, you are young. So you stand up like fresh. You go make an wudu. You make sujood. There's people that cannot make sujood. They have to pray on a chair. How did you do it? Tawakkul. So when you have that spirit of the tawakkul, when a big trial happen, you are mutawakkil. You're already the engine on, you know. So as soon as it's come, you just push on the gas, and it works, inshaAllah ta'ala. So this is what when you have that, then your relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know what is going to happen to you because you are in the realm of tawakkul. What is going to happen to you is going to be good, even though it's so bitter. You just reflect, you say, Ya Allah, nothing can happen without your will. It's not because someone he envy me, it's not because someone is plotting against me. This is all part of the ingredient of this life. But it happened because you. It's either Allah want to honor you, or want to remind you, or want you to cleanse you. That's how you're going to have the contentment. Please, alhamdulillah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. What inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un have to do with the bitter trial that you get really being inflicted with. Someone get hit. You know, he has a broken leg. He cannot even walk. Does he say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, he's going to be walking back? So, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un is for your own soul. Whatever happened to you is nothing. You came from the most merciful, and to him you're going to return. So all is like, you know, station, like you're traveling, this is a small station, you cannot, you know, you fell here, you stand here, you get hurt here, but where's your destination? It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, that powerful weapon to help you be firm, and that firmness and that position called sabr. Come back to Allah. I remember we've been taught when, you know, something big happened. Said, Alhamdulillah, he's not hellfire. So in the beginning, when someone tell you this, he said, what he's talking about? Then when you reflect on it, he said, Alhamdulillah, he's not hellfire. That is the biggest of the calamities. I lost my money. Alhamdulillah, it's not hellfire. Wallahi, make you feel good. Whoever you lost from the dear one, you're going to meet them back. So why you don't work hard or harder to help your dear one, if you're being granted the mercy of Allah, to be elevated at your level? You still have life. Why don't invest in them? So when you have lost something of the dunya, maybe that something of the dunya actually was that bad thing who's keeping you, you know, kind of pulled. Always when you go, want to raise, the thing pull you back. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, okay, we're going to take off this, throw it. You're going to be hurt, but it was for you. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it does not add him or diminish from him anything. And this thinking, this spirit of tawakkul, when the destiny comes, you have that sabr, and that sabr which produce rida. So that's why the author here قال in page 38, الرضاء والتوكل يكتنفان المقدور. You see, it's like they protecting, surrounding tawakkul wa rida. Now we have a problem here, not a problem, inshallah, but someone who put the rida not in its time. You know, like people, they had, it was a story, you know, people, you know, a farmer in a village, they want to complain to the judge about what the master is doing for them. So they had, we need to train. So they make trains, so it's like someone judge and they speak. Everyone is eloquent in his speech. But as soon as they get to the court, no one can speak. That's it. Everyone was scared. So all that eloquence and power they had it not in its time. So it didn't serve them when it came the time. Which is mean, when you're going to use a worship as example, this is a parable, use it in its time. Like the author told us, and this is also I mentioned in the khutbah, don't say, in this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, don't say, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil, when you are making yourself incapable. Only say, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil in its time. So it's like you're watching, you have a watch. You're looking at your watch. It is time of Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil or not. It's like watch of worship. It's not time yet. Why? Because you still have to do your effort. Where's your part? You didn't do anything. So the Prophet said, فَإِنْ غَلَبَكَ أَمْرٌ, غَلَبَكَ is overcome you. When Nuh said, حَسْبِيَ اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ, translated in the dua, after 950 years, قال إني مغلوب فانتصر. I'm overcome, Ya Allah, help me. 950 years. Now we are like in the beginning of the path, حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. Well, that حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل is going to be breaking all your effort, diminishing and degrading all your intensity of iman, because you said it in the wrong time. You said it in a time to make you more passive. You didn't say it in a time when you had all your effort and it's out of your control. You are overcome. You say, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Ibrahim, he said it when he was in the air. Imagine, he been thrown by the catapult. And when he was in the air, he said, Hasbi Allah. So he came to the end of his effort, alayhi salam. The Prophet ﷺ said in Hamra al-Asad, everyone wounded, company that cannot even walk, going back to fight. And they came to scare them. They say, people are gathering against you. قالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. So when you make a worship not in its time, it's not going to give you the fruit of the worship or the positive result. Actually, it's going to turn negative on you because you use it in the wrong time. So let's call it the worship, time of worship. I don't know if we can sell something like that. طيب. Here we have an example. The companions, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim, they said, look, this is kind of projecting the rida because things they happen. They said, if we know what Allah loves, we'll be the first to do it. So what does this mean? If you know what Allah loves, not only you're going to race for it, whatever is going to happen, whatever is going to be, we're going to be pleased with it. Right? So they projected the rida before even knowing what love make Allah loves. So Allah afterwards sent down, He said, Allah love you, or like want you to go and fight in His sake. They didn't like it. So like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala start in Surah Al-Saf. قال يا أيها الذين آمنوا لم تقولون ما لا تفعلون. Why are you saying things that you're not able to do, or that you'll not be able to do? كبر مقتا. It's like causing a great wrath from Allah for you to say things that you don't truly intend to do. Indeed, Allah loves those who fight in His sake like structured block, marsus, very well structured, strong. The Prophet ﷺ in a hadith في الصحيحين قال لعبد الله بن سمرة لا تسأل الإمارة. Someone, he want to do things. I say, if I will be in this position of the da'wah, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. He say, don't ask for it. You will come, people, they will ask you to do it, especially when it comes to the leadership. Because the leadership is not a position of honor. The leadership is a task, is a responsibility. So the one who knows how heavy is the responsibility, no one will run for it. No one will run for it. He said, we're going to give you a responsibility to carry 1 ton from here to Chicago walking. If there's anybody, you're going to run for it? Say, me, we want to do it. And then the reward in the hereafter. Not now. No one will run to do it. But not in exact way, but the parable is like you ask for a leadership that is as heavy as the example I gave. And when someone will not fulfill it, he's going to cause the wrath to descend on him. So I say, I don't. That's why the companion and all the good leaders in the Islamic history, they're being forced, they insisted on them to take the leadership. Like Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, I think he didn't ask for it. So the Prophet ﷺ said to Abdul Rahman ibn Samura, لا تسأل الإمارة. Don't ask the leadership, to be leader, to be governor, to be chief. فإنك إن أعطيتها عن مسألة وكلت إليها. If you ask it, then it's going to be like, subhanallah, it's going to be under your responsibility. It's going to be burden on you. وإن أعطيتها عن من غير مسألة أعنت عليه. But it's being given to you without you asking. You're going to be helped to do it. Because the first one who asked for it, he say, why did you ask for it? You ask for it because you think you're going to have a place of honor. You're going to be elevated in rank. You're going to give orders. Then it's going to be, subhanAllah, a burden on you. But when you're being given this position, Allah will help you to do it. قال وإذا حلفت على يمين فرأيت غيرها خيرا منها فأتي الذي هو خير وكفر عن يمينك. And if you make your oath to do something that is good, say, I want to do this, I want to help this person, and then you find something in that particular time with the same effort or greater required effort, but something that is greater for the ummah, greater in good, the Prophet ﷺ said, expiate for your yameen and do the other thing. So the Prophet teaching us to always target higher in good, within our ability, but not to say, if this I will do and I will do. Say you are projecting a worship, a rida, to be pleased with an action before it comes. And that's not rida. That's azim ala rida. And this will not help the cycle of the tawakkul that we were talking about. He's saying in verse 39, قال وثبت عنه في الصحيحين. And the tawakkul and the rida is to follow the way of the Sharia. And the way of the Sharia is really, this is common sense. In the Sahihain, when there's a plague in a town, in a land, طاعون إذا سمعتم به بأرض فلا تقدموا عليه. If you hear that there's a plague, contagious disease in a place, in a town, in a land, don't get to it. So person say, oh, I have my family there, I have relatives, I want to help them. So here they say, if you're going to die, so don't project something that you want to help when it's going to cause you a greater harm, which is to lose your life, when you know in it. So the Prophet ﷺ قال إذا سمعتم به بأرض فلا تقدموا عليها. Don't get to it. Don't go to it. وإذا وقع بأرض وأنتم بها فلا تخرجوا فرارا منها. And if it fall, or there's a plague in a town or a place that you are in, do not leave that town fleeing from the plague. Why? Because we're going to flee, you're going to take the disease with you. So you're going to flee with your life and you don't care about the life of others. You see the balance? The Prophet care of your life when you are healthy. Don't get there. Even there's the dear ones. Because those are going to die as shuhada. Like Mu'adh ibn Jabal and his son, all of them, they die in the area of Ameur, as there was a plague happened in that land, which is in Jordan. Actually, his grave is there. Radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And the story is known. So if someone is in town, in a place that has plague, you don't flee from it to respect and value the life of the people outside. So you be patient, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you the shahada. This is, from when we say tawakkul and the rida, and how to have that true behavior of qada. So to trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also require, to take care of yourself. So for example, trust in Allah, you're going to say, oh, there is a plague, I'm going to help my people, Allah will protect me. No, the Prophet said, don't go. Because there's things that you don't go to your harm and you're trusting in Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, protect yourself from the harm and trust in Him. Here, قال وثبت كذلك عنه في الصحيحين أنه قال لا تتمنوا لقاء العدو. Look, the Prophet said, don't wish to meet your enemy. Don't wish to be in confrontation with your enemy. And this is how He's teaching us, the Prophet ﷺ, and to show that our deen is not deen of violation or violence. I mean, people of violence, they go seek the innocent to hurt. The Prophet ﷺ prohibited us to confront your enemy. Your enemy, you are in state of war, you don't wish to confront them. وَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ الْعَافِيَةَ, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the ease situation. Al-Afiyah is the comfort, the security, the peace. وَلَكِنْ إِذَا لَقِيتُمُ الْعَدُوَ فَاصْبِرُوا. But when you meet them, don't run away. That's when you need to be patient. See, subhanallah, the very balanced, correct way of conduct in Islam. You don't wish to meet your adu because you don't want to be engaged. You want for yourself the good life. You want for yourself safety and security. Try all the ways to avoid that. But when it happens, be patient. Don't run away, because that's it. This is your task. This is your responsibility. قال وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ الْجَنَّةَ تَحْتَ ظِلَالِ السُّيُوفِ, and know that paradise is under the shades of these swords. Subhanallah. Yeah. وأمثال ذلك مما يقتضي I think we have to stop here. It's 9. خير إن شاء الله. Any question?